Okay. Last thing about banking, and it's really not so much about banks as it is financing institutions that are attached to outfits like car dealership or car manufacturing companies. But a lot of times there is a concept in retail business financing called flooring loans or flooring agreements. And a flooring agreement is you need a lot of money to buy the expensive inventory that goes out onto the showroom floor of your business. Maybe you're starting a car dealership or an appliance store. And so you need to have 200 or 300 cars out there on the lot. So you have a large selection of cars so you can attract customers. Well, that may be a couple of $1 million, even at wholesale prices. Where do you get the millions of dollars you need to borrow to buy 200 or 300 cars to put out on your car lot? Well, a lot of times you can get it from the financing arm of the car manufacturer. Different car manufacturers like GMAC and Ford, they have a financing arm, and they will loan you the $2 or $3 million, but they do it in a special kind of secured loan transaction, which is you're pledging all of those vehicles out there on the showroom floor as collateral for the loan. So we'll loan you $2 million to buy 200 GM cars to put out on your showroom floor, but you're pledging those cars as collateral for the loan. So each time you sell a car, you can keep the profit on the car, but with regard to what you paid for the wholesale price of the car, that's the money you borrowed from us. Every time you sell a car, you've either got to pay down the loan by at least the amount of the wholesale price of the car, because we no longer have 200 cars as collateral for our loan. We only have 199 cars now. So you've either got to pay down the loan by that much, or you got to take that money and buy another car from us so that you always have at least 200 cars out on the lot as collateral for our $2 million loan. Well, that works out fine as long as you're selling 10, 20, 30 cars a month and you've got lots of profit available to pay all your employees and the rent and taxes and all your other expenses. But what happens when you have a really down month, you have a pandemic, and nobody comes to the car lot for a month, and instead of selling 20 or 40 cars that month, you only sell 3 or 4. Wow, pretty soon your reserve begins to run out and you're looking at, wow, I don't have enough money to pay the employees or to pay the rent, and if I don't pay those things, I'm out of business. What am I going to do? Well, there becomes an overwhelming temptation to take all of the money from the sale of those 4 or 5 cars that you did sell, rather than feeding the wholesale value back in to buy additional cars. Take all the money and use it to pay the employees and the rent and keep the doors open, in the hope that next month you sell 20 or 30 or 40 cars and you'll buy twice as many cars back as you usually do, and the lender will never notice that you went through 1 month and you were 3 or 4 or 5 cars short on your collateral. Sometimes you get away with that the first time. Sometimes it works. You have a good month the next month and you buy extra cars and the lender never knows. But if you have 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 months in a row of bad business, and the lender comes out with his inspector someday and he counts all the cars in your lot and he says, hey, you still owe us $2 million and you're supposed to have 200 cars out there on the lot as collateral for our loan, and there's only 150 cars out there. Where's the other 50 cars, or where's our money for the other 50 cars that you sold and did not replace? Well, now you are what's called out of trust on your flooring loan, and all kinds of terrible things can happen. You'll see in the book, or in the text on the website, the case of Chick Miller Chevrolet. You can be sued. They can call your loan. They can revoke your franchise, so you're no longer a car dealer with that manufacturer, and you might even go to jail. So although there's a powerful temptation to get out of trust on a flooring loan, do not ever get out of trust on a flooring loan. Okay, that's it for banking.